Okay, so I'm going to start on time. So I'm a big fan of starting on time. So my name is Natalie Wheeland. I will have met some of you at Health Week. Some of you will be coming from other areas. I'm one of the co-founders of VidVersity. So the format of today is really going to be me talking and doing some demonstrations and showing you a little bit about how the process works. And Liz Collius is here with me, but she'll be manning the chat room. So really feel free anytime to ask some questions, and she'll be making sure she keeps up with those. And she'll also interrupt me if she needs to clarify anything with me. But that's pretty much the format of how this webinar is going to go. So it's roughly about 25 minutes, and my aim really is to just spark your imagination, get you interested and excited on great ways to deliver learning. And it's not to say other ways are wrong, it's just I think video is such a really key part of how we deliver learning these days. And I'm sitting here actually with as a mother of teenagers, and I often look at how they do all of their learning, and they go to YouTube. If they want to learn the drums, they go to YouTube. If they want to work out Pythagoras' theorem, they go to YouTube. The other day, my daughter was watching all these YouTube animations on the French Revolution. And I was thinking it's extraordinary that the things they're interested in is the content, accessibility, short, reliable. And what we tend to focus on in more corporate training is the look, what it looks like. As in, we focus so much on the quality of the production, we often let perfection get in the way of delivering great content. So, not to say it can't look great, but I do think we get really bogged down, and I don't look good on camera, or I don't want to be filmed, or so I've got some tricks around that where you don't even have to be in front of the camera. So in relation to VidVersity, we are an Australian-based company. We offer an end-to-end service solution. So that means you mightn't even know where to start. You might want to engage us as a team to just get you thinking of ideas of how to deliver training, right through to creating content for you, right through to delivering the content in our platform. The other way to do it is we don't even get involved, and you buy the platform and you can start creating your own content yourself with all the support and training. So we're an end-to-end solution. We're a video-based solution, which means we're a tool that allows you to create interactive videos. So it's more than just creating videos. It's the interactions for learning, the quizzing, the links to documents, the tracking of the content, whether that's in our LMS or yours. So what are some of the use cases? And that's really what I want to do today with a focus on healthcare. I'll do big picture, then I'm going to show you some examples because I think that's the easiest way to really learn something is to be in front of it, see it, and see what I'm talking about. So some of the use cases are simply recording a lecture style. So you might record a lunchtime seminar, whether that's face-to-face or being delivered in a webinar style. You'd save that recording as an MP4, upload it into our platform, and the things that our platform allows you to do is edit the parts out you don't want, chunk it into chapters. So really break the content down into meaningful bite-sized chunks rather than dumping on a whole hour or so to your audience. And then inside each chapter, adding things to make it interesting. So if the educator refers to a particular policy that you might have in your organisation, or the educator refers to a particular website, stop and link to that. It really does, it sort of activates the brain rather than that passive watching of a video. It starts to go, ooh, that's something I've got to remember. So, and it's a two-way thing. It's not just watching. You stop the video and say, click here to look at this website, and then they come back in. So that's one simple way, is just repurposing content you're already delivering. Another is to start maybe doing software training. So processes and systems are really something that everybody has to learn in every organisation, and when they're moving around, and updates and upgrades. So by doing screen captures using things like Camtasia or Snagit, then uploading those videos into VidVersity and building There's different styles, so I often do something like an FAQ, which is how to log in, how to create a certificate, how to, whatever it might be, how to create a patient record, and then just having short little videos that answer those questions is one way. For induction, it might be more of an introduction to the whole system. You can then do filming with your phone. So you might want to do regular updates for your team or organisation. We have an app that allows you to film with your phone, and then with your phone, you just literally press upload and it lands in our platform ready to edit. That can be quite good for collaborative things. So you might want a number of people to send videos to you. And if you've ever done that, you know it's really hard to get videos from your phone. That's another thing that you can be thinking. And so really and the last one I always just mention, because a lot of people say to me, but I don't even have video capacity in my organisation. I go, well, have you got some PowerPoints? Because you know you can go to PowerPoint, you can click on record and just record your voice or yourself if you like having a face there. And then you go File, Save As, MP4, and bingo, you've got yourself a video ready to start with. So they're the sort of ideas that I like to sort of just get people going before I think about showing you how to use the platform. So now technology is where I have to rely on it now, but I'm going to move across and actually now take you through to the platform, which is cloud-based, and just show you. I'm going to work backwards. I'm going to show you a couple of examples, and then I'm just going to show you very quickly the process of how to build something. So it's really practical. I want you to actually see what can be done, and then at the end, I'll show you. We do have these packs that we can give out to you, which is just an email with some samples, examples of PowerPoint presentation, just so you can pass this information on to any relevant people if that's of interest to you. So what I'm going to do is bear with me. I'm now going to swap over to showing my screen and take you through some of the examples. Here we go. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen. If there's any issues, let Liz know, but I'm going to assume that you can. So this is VidVersity. It's cloud-based, entirely hosted in Australia. This is the administrative area. So this is what anyone in your organisation who wants to get data or is running who accesses and whatnot. This is the admin. But we're going to actually launch into VidVersity. So it's a 3-step process. The first thing is you upload a video. So whether that's a PowerPoint saved as an MP4, it's a video recording of a webinar, whatever that might be. You then edit the video. So, excuse me, really basic editor. It's designed to be really simple. If you want to do some more fancy stuff, you'd use something else outside, but this is sort of for breaking up the video into smaller chapters and also removing content that you don't want in there. And then you use that video to create the course, and that's the key. The video is the centerpiece, and then we add things like quizzes, links to documents, all of that. But I always think the easiest way to start is to actually see something, and then we'll work backwards. So I'm going to show you a couple of courses. So the first one I want to show you is more of that sort of lecture style. So I'm going to go in and show you what the learner sees. So this is what a learner would ultimately see, and it's fully responsive. And if I can, I found this the other day, which I thought was great. Under developer tools, you can do this and it will show you what you can see if you're on a phone. So I just think that's worth knowing. That's all fully responsive. So what have we got here? We've got each one of these chapters is a video, and you can see how long it is. It tells you how long. And then up here on the left, we've got the name of the course, and then you can have your own branding, and all the colors can be your own as well. This is a PowerPoint slide, and you'll see it says next up there, which will mean something in a moment. So you can have as many slides as you want in there. You don't have to have just video. You can put all kinds of additional content in there. The reason I showed you the next button, as soon as it gets to the end of the slides, that swaps to play video. And we'll just watch a little bit of the video. I know that I just took this from YouTube, so this is not a real course. Obviously, I can't show real clients' courses, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how it works.
Spiking the bag means that we are going to use the spike from the tubing to penetrate the bag so we can withdraw the solution so it can go into the patient's bloodstream.
This is a key takeaway. So I'll show you how to do that later, but this is a note, and I think notes are really handy. So what happens is it stops the video. The learner this is sort of a trigger to the brain to say, oh, this is something really important. The person then could read it and click on continue.
So
what's important about those notes is up here on the left-hand or right-hand side where it says notes. I've only got one there, but imagine there was one in each chapter. You can print them out, so it becomes a printable summary. So if you think about a learner, if anyone does it in education, you'll often be asked, have you got a handout? Have you got something I can take? Well, it aggregates all of those and it brings them together. So let's keep going.
As a nurse, you are going to be doing this all the time. This is standard.
And then the video can stop like it has here, and then a quiz pops up. And this quiz here, the whole aim of IV therapy. So let's type in bloodstream and click on submit. And now we'll move to the next chapter. Now you'll see some things here. That's a tick, so the person's done that. So if they came back at a later date, it would remember what they're up to. I have done this before, so I've already viewed it, so I've passed. If I had got a question wrong, that question would appear here with a retry button, so you don't have to go and find it again. And the other thing, there's a resource button. And the resource button up here is things that you might want the learner to have access to easily, and they can go and have a look at that. So that can either be a web page or any document, so an Excel spreadsheet, a PDF, a Word document. So you can see quite quickly the learner no longer has to watch the whole thing. They might just come back to, I can't remember how to do the labeling, so they could go straight into there.
Okay, first we're going to fill out the start.
So it's a really useful way to be able to deliver content, but in a really digestible way. So it's an easy way for learners to be able to access the content. And also when they come, so that person might have done the training and then they come back 6 weeks later to actually do it again and they can't remember, to be able to tap into the part that's just of interest to them can be really, really useful. So I'm going to close that down and I'm going to go over to here to courses, and I'm going to show you a second style. So I'm going to show you 3 styles, and then I'm briefly going to show you how it's done. This one here is more of a software style training. So software training, again, I've just taken this from the internet. Software training is something that is regularly needed to do in all organisations and particularly in health. So let's just have a look at how this style's done.
This program was developed by NETA as part of a program to train GPs in accessing the PCEHR from their software. They've got most of the bundles on board: Best Practice, Communicare, Genie and Medical Director, which are the commonest programs.
So he's done a combination, we'll go to this one here, of screenshots, of screencasting and also video, but you could just do screencasting with voiceover.
I want to put now his patient summary. Now if you want to print it, you can go to the file and print health.
So you can see, really, again, a fantastic way to be able to build some training easily. And by doing it in the chunks like this, say there was a change made to how to create a patient summary, you don't have to redo the whole video, you just redo that 2-minute video. Okay, and then all of a sudden you've got yourself an updated training module. And currency is so critical when it comes to training. It's no use saying to someone, well, it's not quite how it looks, but it'll get you started. We really need to make sure we can keep the training updated as easily as possible. And by having it in the bite-sized chunks, that's really does make it easier. And then the third style I'm going to show you is this COVID safe one. And the reason I want to show you this one is this has no video. So here we go. This is if we I'll do that. If we deliver it via our platform, this is one way you can deliver it. Why I want to show you this one is this organisation had no video and they weren't interested in getting anyone into, or no one wanted to be on the video. And so what I did is I just got some stock video and stock images and recorded a voiceover over the top of the, and it looks really polished, but it only took about an hour to build the whole thing out. So let me show you what I mean by that. So again, our slides, and now we're going into a video.
As we start to enter the workforce, it's critical we are aware of all the safety requirements and in particular, how to remain COVID safe.
That's just a slide. I wanted to show someone that you can put slides up. Key takeaways again.
This module is going to take you through all the material you need to be aware of. Up in the top right-hand corner.
I just put a quiz anywhere just to show you so we don't have to watch the whole thing. Answer the following. Let's get it wrong. We get another try. We'll get it wrong again. Oops. The key issue at work is COVID. We'll see if that's right. Correct.
There's some resources you can link to, our policy, and the key things that will help you remain COVID safe. Throughout these videos, there will be some questions. This just gives us an opportunity to see where you're struggling and what additional resources we might need to put in place.
So that's just a sample.
Please
I just
enjoy.
Added some of these animations on the top. Now the next one I did is a scenario. All right, so let's have it, and this is just with an animation.
So whether you work in the corporate world or logistics or the health industry, it is so important to keep all of our staff safe and informed.
That's what this training is about. So the first thing we're going to focus on is masks. Masks are now compulsory in all environments and must be worn throughout the day. It is not enough to cover just your mouth. You must cover your nose and mouth. Here in our organisation, we're using surgical masks that can be obtained at the front door. You cannot use your own personal mask.
Now you can see I'm using some stock footage there, but you could just film with your phone your own one. And very quickly you can build some really great content. So that was me using some PowerPoint, some stock footage, and then I just did a voiceover over the top. But like I say, if you really wanted to go for that authenticity, you might want to film someone in your organisation putting on a mask. But these are the kind of things you can do without actually having one of you in a video if that's not what you want to do. So let's just go back up to my progress, and you'll see I got that one wrong, so I get the opportunity to retry that question, and it will take me to the part where
there's some resources you can link to.
So that is a bit of an overview of some use cases of how you do this, and I thought I'd just spend a little bit of time, just a couple of minutes, just showing you the process. So the first thing is you go in and you upload a video. Okay, once a video has been uploaded, it lands here. And then once it's in here, you've got a couple of choices. You can cut parts out of your video, or you can top and tail it. And the concept of top and tailing it is, let's assume this was a really large video, and we say, actually, I want the video, you watch it and you go, actually, I want the video to start there. So you click on mark in, you then keep watching it and you say mark out. And we could call this new chapter 4 or 3, say we're going to replace it. And you literally go here and you go cut and save. And what it's doing is it's making a new version of the video, just the parts that we asked for it to keep. All right. Once that's processed, we then can add that, and that'll take a few moments to process. So the first step, we've done the uploading, we're editing, and then you create a course. Now, by creating a course, you literally go up here and call it something, put the keywords if you want an image for it, and decide if the learner can skip chapters or not. Let's go in and just play around with one of them so you can see how it works. I'm going to go into, let's go to the spiker bag one. I unpublish, and just a couple of the settings very, very quickly. Under settings, you can decide if the learner can skip a chapter or not. Hide the learner control. So if it's yes, it means the learner can't fast forward. If it's no, the learner can fast forward. Show the pop-up quiz. So before a quiz comes up, do you want to pop up to say you're about to do a quiz? And then down here with the theme, you can choose what color you want the whole look and feel to be. Tracking, you decide if you want to track by questions, by chapters, or a combination. And then you decide if you're going to deliver it via SCORM. That's if you've got your own LMS. LTI, so there's our video is now ready. Or you're going to share it. I'm just going to refresh that because it wants me to go and do something with that video that we just made. The share concept is quite interesting. There's 3 ways to share, and this is ideal for when you don't have or don't want to use an LMS. If you want the world to see it, you just click on there and it makes a link, and anybody can see it without, they don't have to register. And you don't get great data, you just get the number of people who looked at it. Private registration is a concept of only people you have imported into our system, which you can do as individuals or you could upload a spreadsheet. Only those people, they will receive an invite to access this, and only they can. Whereas public registration is like what I did just a moment ago. That's anybody can see it, but they have to access the content. They have to put their name and email in there to be able to access the content so you can get some analytics. Once you're in here, so here's our chapter. I'm going to add a new chapter. So I'm going to go into here and I'm going to go health and spiking, and that's our new chapter 3 that I just did. And I'm going to go across here and I'm going to call this, well, we'll leave it, we'll call it new chapter 3 so we remember. And I'm going to click on save. So I've added a new chapter. Now inside this chapter, I can watch it and I can start adding things. So you simply say, I'd like to add a question. And so you go to health and we'll call it, we'll give a question here. This is the whole aim of IV therapy is to put liquid into the patient's blank bloodstream. How many tries am I going to give them? Click on save. Now, where do I want that question to appear? I literally just go along like this and I decide I want it to be at 11 seconds. If I wanted a link to a document, I just click here and I put in instructions. So I might say click to open this document, and then I'll put the details, either upload the document or I might want them to look at a website. Notes, they're those key takeaways I've been talking about. So not going to do much more other than if you want to add PowerPoint slides, you can just add them in here by literally uploading the slide and off you go. So it's about now you'll be going, oh my God, that's so much stuff to remember. But the point is it's a really simple way, and let's go very quickly and have a look at the analytics. It's a really simple way for you to be able to create some really engaging, great content using video easily. Okay, and back over here, we have the progress report. So this is if you don't have an LMS and you're thinking, I'd like to deliver this in a different way. I'm going to deliver it through, let me find something. I'll find, you can search by any creator. So let's have a look. So someone in your organization has been building content and you want to see how it's going. You could go here and you'd see this person's logged in, they've started it, and I get some details. Really, really good analytics that you can get without an LMS. So I think about now is when I see people go, oh gosh, my mind is going a million miles an hour. So I'm going to come back to me. I'm going to get rid of my screen share. So just wait for a second. So I hope you can see me now. And I know that can be completely overwhelming and you start going, oh my goodness. But what I want this session to be about is getting your imagination going, thinking, oh, I could train that team on how to use that. I could do this for the new nurses. This would be great for the doctors when we're getting this new equipment coming in. So it really empowers educators to be able to create some really amazing content, authentic, great content that can be delivered in your LMS or in ours. So I've probably overwhelmed you completely. Remember, there's Liz is here if you have any questions that you want to ask. But I think usually the next step we say is just reach out to us if you want to have more of a deep dive. It might be a free trial. You might want to do our workshop, which is an online complimentary workshop that you can have a play and have a look around and maybe try and make something. Like I said, we've got a sort of an email kit that we give to people that helps you explain it to others. So if that's something of interest to us, to reach out. Probably the best email is info@vidversity.com, but you can always reach out to myself, and I'm Natalie@vidversity.com, or Liz@vidversity.com. And we're always here to help. We love discussing this, and we're really happy to sort of speak at a really high level where you go, we're not sure where to start, right down to a deep dive. So thank you so much for your time. I hope that made sense to you all, and please reach out, and it's been great to have you here today. Thank you so much. And I'm going to turn off. Bye, everyone.